Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Avini Vibes. Tonight is August 22nd, 2024. And I don't know about you, but it feels like fall is in the air. It's kind of strange, and I'm not happy because I like the summer, but always have to look forward to the change of season, etc. So we're here tonight at Avini Vibes. Welcome again for taking the time to be here. Remember, we make no medical claims, no diagnosis. We don't treat. But we're here to learn, to educate, to commune together, and to encourage one another to be the best that we can possibly be and to share. So that's what tonight is all about. I want to let you know that we missed you all last week, and we're just so glad that Carol's back with us. Carol, it was a long go. Carol, how you doing, Carol? You better? You feeling better, and you're back?
I'm doing way better. No coughing anymore. Just getting my strength back, but I'm doing really good.
All right. Well, we're really glad, Carol, that you're back. Couldn't do this without Carol. And looks like right now we have all distributors here. So while we're doing that, I'll just share with you what I've talked to Chip, talked to Carol, talked to everybody, and we're excited about this call. We're gonna throw this call out there, and we're going to have a little bit of a change, have the opportunity for, we want this call to be the place that you want to bring your guests to. You can bring your guests to. You can bring your guests to this call to learn, talk to Chip and Marcy, and we're basically, they think it's a great idea and had some really good input and insight about this is going to be the call that you want to come to with health professionals. Okay, so health professionals every week. Just want to let you know, I know how valuable your time is and how valuable your guest time, basically, the time is. So what we'll do is, we won't go an hour. We'll go 35 minutes, 40 minutes, but leave that opportunity for questions and answers. So for tonight, I want to just kind of open it up to you and let you know that we'll roll out as of next week. We won't be here because of Labor Day, right? Labor Day is next week. So the following week, we're going to kick off Avini Vibes. I don't know, what do we want to call it? Avini Vibes 2.
Yeah,
New season of Avini Vibes starting the following week. So why don't we just
2.0.
go around the room? Yeah, 2.0, right. So why does everybody just, feel free to jump in and share and tell me what's going on, how we can help. I want to share something that I'm excited about, is that I've been able to facilitate a magnetic mentoring program, which is fun. If you don't know what that is, that's something that the company rolled out about 3 months prior to national conference. And Eddie and I got EQ, and I got an opportunity to be a part of that. And so now we're kind of rolling out another class of that, and it's just awesome. And what's so awesome about it, it has to do with us as our mindset and the way we process I'll call it, self-regulation of our mood. So it's something that we're always great together in a community, and we support each other, and we're together to support each other, and we pull energy from each other, good or bad. But that's, we come together tonight, even on Avini Vibes. I don't know about you, but I go away fired up. So, how do you stay fired up? As MJ would say, he does all this, look at Alan. Alan's giving us high fives. Feel free to unmute too. You guys can all unmute and jump in, because I'm not here to lecture. I'm here to
This is something I look forward to every
talk
week.
and
It's the
share
highlight of my
and
week.
throw out ideas. Yeah, right. So, there's so many resources that Avini has, and that's what, I think we just have to tap into those in any way, in the best form for you personally. Carol and I were talking today about, using the strength of the three-way calling, right? During the day, you grab somebody. Chip's great. Call Chip, and, boom, right on the money, calls you back, and boom, you're on a three-way call with him. So I just want to open up tonight. And just before I do that, I just want to see a show of hands. Is anybody going to Grand Junction, Colorado? Or, Doug's going to be there this coming Friday and Saturday. If you know somebody, get them to Grand Junction, Colorado. And then what do we have up? September 24th. 1st. We have Portland, Oregon, far from me, but I know, you might know somebody there that you can get to that meeting. And again, utilize those amazing meetings. October 19th, Richmond, Virginia. I know we have a group going. There's 7 of us going to that one. And then we also have Boca Raton. How do you say Boca Raton, Florida? So who's going to that? Is everybody? Eddie's going. Yeah. Deb, I hope you're going. You're down there in Florida, so I hope you're going too. Carol's going. So please unmute yourselves and feel free. Let's kind of chat. What's going on in your life, Eddie? What's going on in your life? Testimonials. We're here to just share tonight.
Yeah, a lot of really good things going on. As far as the testimonial goes, I mean, I feel so bulletproof taking these products. I mean, there's things that I don't even talk about that are better, like my knees when I was in high school, the physical that I had to take to make the high school baseball team. He said you had a knee disease called Osgood-Schlatter. One part of the knee outgrows the other. And it was off and on pain throughout my life. But now at my age, I've put it on every now and then, and I don't feel it anymore. It just goes away. And you don't even think about it with the plus relief that we have. But other than that, it's just the cell defender, the mushrooms, the fiber to take care of the rest of the stuff. And we have all of these products, and it's only a specialized group, but they all have their own purpose, right? They all feed off of cell defender. And the cool thing is our team and our leadership, like I had a call with Chip last night, right? With the guy that found one of the people that are that's in my organization, Joseph, my buddy that's on this call. And he found Jim Carroll. Joseph, there's another guy that I talked to, but Chip got on the phone, and in 15 minutes, we talked, right, Chip, and this guy was like, I think I want to do that $1,000 package. I want to save money. And I was like, wow, okay. Then I talked to a lady today, Christine. I didn't tell you this, but she's in the essential oils business. She's top 3 in her company for 13 years. And I got her on the phone with Doug Dickey. And she said she needs to find something that can take the heavy metals out. It was like a match made in heaven. Had that call with Doug today. Pardon me, talked to Rik Deitsch today as well about a call that Christine and I have talked about. Christine, by the way, that's good for Monday. So we're at the top with Chip being our master distributor, Rik Deitsch, our biochemist, Doug Dickey, our VP. So guys, we are so connected to the top of this thing, and we have not even touched what is about to happen with what we're doing, because nobody knows about us yet. But when they do, they're going to understand that everybody on the planet, everybody needs this. They need it. And so lastly, when you decide to build a business with this, your business is built on how many people are blessed by what we have. And those stories add up to sharing. And so, your byproduct of blessing other people with what we've got, which is the best products in the world to take care of cleaning your body, is money. And why shouldn't we get paid for that? We're sharing it. Let's not let Sprouts and Whole Foods and all these other places get the money. We're sharing it. There's stories to tell. And our business is built on stories. And you're rewarded handsomely for just sharing what we have. That's our obligation, because we want to help 3 things: prevent, life-changing, and life-saving. That's what we have in our hands.
Say it again. Prevent,
life-changing, and life-saving. Those 3 things is what we do.
Wow.
That's what we do.
Will you put that in the chat so that we all have that? Thank you.
Sure,
No,
absolutely.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Christine, I want to share something because it's something that I noticed about myself in this
Go
last
ahead, Carol.
of being sick, guys. And one of the things that I really noticed for myself is, when you are not sharing this product, it just goes away. It goes out of your mind, and it goes inside of, like, it's just like you're not excited anymore. I saw what it was doing to my mindset around around Avini and not being able to be a part of it and sharing it. And I know, Christine, that when you share on a daily basis, you are connected. You're not only connected to the products, and I didn't stop taking the products, guys. They were still in the forefront of my mind. I'm taking them every day when I was sick, but I wasn't sharing. I wasn't talking to anyone. And I really saw my energy around Avini go down. So one of the things I want to share with all of you is, if you want to be excited about this, you really and truly want to be excited like Ed is, like Chip is, like Christine is, you want to get out there and you just want to just keep sharing, because it raises your energy and your enthusiasm and your belief. So
Right.
this is something I do. I declare things, and I am declaring I am back, and I am going to start being able to reach out and share again. And I also have 2 guests coming next week. So yay.
Well, Carol, thanks for saying that, because that's what this is. We want to make you comfortable to have your guests come to this call and be here to support you anyway. And Carol, you're right, because this is what I do. I wake up in the morning and I start to think, and then I drive down the street and I see somebody or someone that reminds me of somebody, and I go, oh, I got to call them. Oh, it reminds me of, Susie Q over there, and I got to call Susie Q. I take that as a prompting. That's a prompting that I have to pick up the phone and call Susie Q because somebody looked like her or reminded me of her.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Eddie, I put that in the chat for you. Prevent life-changing, life-saving.
Saving. Woo! I'm using it. Thank you,
That's
Ed.
what we do. No, that's what we do. That's what we do.
I know. I love it.
That is
I
what we
can't
do.
figure out how to raise my hand, but can I share?
Yes, please.
I'm on my cell phone.
Oh,
So I'd like to share with you all this. Well, it's basically a testimony, but it's what I've been sending to my friends. It's a letter. So it says, a friend of mine told me he was going to live until he was 100. I thought about it and I was like, I wouldn't mind living until 100 if my body was in good condition. So what does good condition look like? It means walking, talking, and managing myself without someone else's help. Not just managing, but living my life happily, not in a nursing home or somewhere someone has to take care of me. That's not what I want. So he wanted to be 100. I wanted to live as long as my body would function well. Then I was introduced to some health products. These are zeolites, and they take heavy toxins and metals out of your body. I didn't know much about that. I knew about non-GMOs and what we fed our bodies, like white rice, flour, processed foods, but I knew nothing about toxins and heavy metals in our body. Whenever someone mentioned heavy metals, I imagined big pieces of metal in my system, maybe coagulated in something large. I don't know. Then I heard about these zeolites and detoxing heavy metals. I still didn't fully understand, but they told me that they trap toxins and pull them out. I listened to them explain this. Then I started taking the product. Things started happening. I began to move a little faster. My hands and arms weren't as constricted. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't have noticed these changes if my family hadn't pointed them out. Thank God for them. Over the years, I had declined so gradually that when I started to improve, I didn't notice. One day, I was talking to my family and expressing some emotion. I raised my arms over my head, which I hadn't been able to do for as long as we had been living together, about 2 years. They started jumping up and down, cheering as if I had won the Olympics. Really, look at this. I began to notice that when I got up in the morning, I wasn't looking for pain. I was actually getting up and just doing what I needed to do, using the bathroom, getting a drink of water, fixing my coffee, whatever it was. This was really interesting to me. But I didn't realize how big of a difference it had made until I was helping my daughter take a test. Since we moved to the city during the pandemic, I had to use GPS for everything. I couldn't remember phone numbers, addresses, or even my own address. I had to look it up every time I needed to tell someone. I didn't tell my family what was going on with me. I had to put everything exactly back in its place, or I would forget where it was. I kept myself so extraordinarily organized that memory loss within my own home wasn't too big of a deal. Everything went in the shoebox, all clearly labeled, but it was not like that when you leave the house. Consequently, I stayed in the apartment most of the time. I believe I ventured out alone probably about 4 times the entire time we lived there.
Wow.
When I discovered that my mind was now generating thoughts, remembering things, and I could take a test, I felt like Helen Keller with water. It was just amazing. I began telling everybody about this amazing product I was taking. I said, you better take this product too, because it could do this for you. Given where I was, this is a product you should be taking so you can see what it'll do for you. The thing is, because you've been consuming these heavy metals, you don't know how it's blocking your system. It's your system. Everybody's body is different. No one is the same. So what I may get from the product may not be the same thing you get. It's been an amazing journey. I'm very happy with what's been happening. I feel like I'm back to my old self. Before, I focused on eating right and healthy, consuming the right things to lose weight and feel motivated. It wasn't anything like that. It was about getting those heavy metals out of my body. Now I feel rejuvenated. I feel like getting up every morning. I'm back to my old routine. I'm on the internet learning about artificial intelligence and how it can improve jobs. It's so interesting and fun. To think that I'm having this conversation when everything seems so foggy to me, like I could see the forest, but not the trees. Now I see everything, and I'm so enthusiastic and happy. I've created something here for people like me. I believe if you take this product and engage in these conversations, you'll live longer. If you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, you have at least 20 more years left in you. What are you going to do the next 20 years? I challenge you to do something. And if you're a young whippersnapper listening to this, give this to your mom, your grandmom, your great grandparents. Trust me, they will thank you. And if you give it to them, sit down and listen to this conversation too. Because if you start now, you don't have to worry about your health like we do. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm
Amen.
just saying.
Amen. Holy smokes. Wow. That's beautiful.
That
It's
was
so
powerful.
powerful. My gosh.
That was amazing, Novella. Woo!
Yeah.
So I have not been very good at um, responding to people. I've had so many people reach back out to me and ask me for to send them things, and I've been like super busy, and so I need I need some help in trying to figure out how to, you know, um, just send things back out to them, and you know, in the midst of everything else that I'm doing.
Wow, that's so powerful. Anyone want to offer anything up for this?
Novella, that's amazing. Absolutely
Beautiful.
amazing. And I am here. You need some support. I'm here. Reach out, please. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, actually, I was reaching out to you, but you were so sick. I was like,
I know.
I said I can't bombard her with this because I knew that you would help me. But
But I'm back.
okay,
Yay. That's Novella's term, Carol. You can't steal that. Novella's t-shirt says Novella's back. Remember that.
good. Here. Thank you for letting
Wow.
me share.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. That is
Oh.
so beautiful. So unplanned. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And same thing. I'll help you any way I can too. you know, as it grows and as like you start to percolate
Yeah.
people. I'm always amazed at people that don't have anybody to talk to, because I got so many people to talk to. I don't know how to keep up with them sometimes too. So I know that's such a beautiful feeling, but then it's also the feeling of, oh my God, how do I handle this, right? When you get the response. So, but we're here to support you, you know, any of us, all of us, Eddie, me, Carol, any of us are there to support you. Okay. Eddie, you had your hand up. I saw you making a comment. Or were you waving?
Oh, no, no, I just wanted to say that was really amazing, Novella. Yeah, that was strong. So
That's
thank you for that.
Really.
really strong. What about Dr. K? You on the line with us?
Of course.
What do you think about that? You
Woo.
witnessed firsthand.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
That's how I became part of it. Being able to I'm chasing her around the house trying to ask her to let me try the drops that Carol sent her. And she would not let me try those drops at all. No, I don't have very many. So you know what's cool about it is that to see her journey and to see and to be like a bird's eye view of it, and to see how, you know how like people are sometimes, like older people are sometimes scared that they're losing their mind, that they're not as functioning as well as they would like, and to see that fear and to know that there was nothing I could do, you know, like was nothing, even as a doctor, there was nothing I could help with that, you know, like I didn't know what to, you know, like there was no help for that. And to have something in a little bottle that's a few drops a day alter not just her reality, but all of our family, because we were all interacting with her. Now, my grandson and me, and then to be able to see her feel confident again and then feel courageous, you know, like you know, that there's no words. It's priceless, you know? So that being on that side of it, I mean, there's no words I can say, you know? And then having her have these long conversations with my son about his health and what he's up to, and to see him like, I'm sharing this with my friends, and you know, like you know, that is you know, like it's almost like bittersweet, you know, it's like that type of feeling. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you both for sharing your personal journey. And like Eddie said earlier, prevent life changing and life saving. So we're all gonna have that T-shirt. She's
I
back.
love the fact, I also love the fact that she really let us see that it impacts other people in your family when you're not doing well. You know, we don't even look at that sometimes, but it really does impact everybody when a person's not doing well. And to be able to have the answer, to have them have a quality of life that, you know, they want to live to 100, it's amazing. Amazing.
This is amazing. Dave and Pat, you were unmuted. Did you want to jump in? You want to share?
Oh, we're not hearing you, Pat. It says you're unmuted, but I'm not hearing you.
Yeah.
And Pat, it doesn't look like you're connected to the audio, because I can't give you a prompt even.
All right, now they're muted.
Let's see.
All right, so anyone else?
Now let me prompt you. Now,
Okay.
there you go. There we go.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you, Dave. We can hear you,
We can
Pat.
hardly hear you. We had our speakers on because
Okay.
we could hear better with our speakers on, but that's you out. So here we are. We've had some excitement the last few weeks. We talked to, first of all, my lymphatic specialist, who understands what we're talking about, and we're going to see her again, but we still have to do what we call a follow-up, because we like doing a two-step, going to talk to people and then having time for them to look at what we've talked to them about and then go to follow up, and then hopefully that's when we make the sale. And she referred us to another lady who is a naturopath, and the naturopath has 4 other people working in her office. And we saw her this week, and she understood, of course, everything that we're talking about, which is wonderful. And of course, she asked all the questions and the prices. And then I asked her if she had any aches and pains, and she did. And so I gave her some of our Avini Plus Relief for her knees, because my knees were bad too when I started, and I slathered that all over for a couple of months, and I'm telling you, just slacked off, and now it's, once in a while. So she was happy about that too, and she said, "No, I think you should talk to the rest of the people in here." So we have appointments now to go see the other people and do a follow-up with her. And backing up the bus a little bit, we did sign up my naturopath 2 weeks ago. So we're on a roll with these professionals, which we're excited about because they understand what you're talking about. We don't have to have the discussion like beginning. It saves a little bit of time and energy when you're with people that are on the same wavelength. So we're on a roll.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Dave,
good.
Pat, congratulations, and for your boldness to share. I like what you just said, a 2-step process. You share, you go back, you follow up, you give them the opportunity. People are each different, right? Everybody learns differently, but you're speaking the language, so that's amazing.
Yeah. Really great.
Thank you for sharing that. Priscilla, are you with us? Where's Priscilla? I don't see her face, but I see her name. Are you able to speak
There she is.
tonight? There she is. What's cooking
Hey,
there, girl? How are
everybody.
you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. I've been missing it on Thursdays. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, but I liked what Carol said, where the energy level goes down if you're not sharing it on a daily basis, and if you're not listening on a daily basis. And even for me, when I share every other Thursday, wow, after that call, my energy is so high. I just feel on top of the world. I'm so nervous beforehand, but after, I'm like, oh, I get to really get pumped up about this. I'm sharing with people who are, already in the community, but it builds my belief, it builds my confidence. And yeah, so that's why I'm here, just to soak up more goodness from all of you. So thank you.
It's that engagement, right? If you
Yeah.
stay engaged, and I know I used to do live radio on Saturdays. My biggest fear was my guest wasn't going to show up and I was going to have to talk for an hour on, like, you can't even breathe. You can't even like take a breather. And
Yeah.
same thing. I go in there with my anxiety, being nervous. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, even though they said they were coming, it was 1 minute to go on live air and then show up. But then when it was over, just like this, when tonight's over, we're all going to be up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have each other and we're supporting each other, and just very powerful to engage. Chip, you're kind of quiet tonight. What's up there, Chip? How are you? We're so glad
Well,
you're here.
it's really important for me to listen, to have an opportunity to listen. As you know, I talk all the time, so it's really a treat to get to hear people express themselves. And I would just call your attention, if you're involved with MJ, one of the main things that he does is to create a space for you to speak into, so that you can hear yourself telling the story, and then he develops that much further, of course. But Dave Johnson is one of the most prolific network marketers ever. And one of the things he does is he'll assign someone to take a call, like Priscilla. And all of a sudden, he creates a vacuum to speak into, right? And then that person grows into it. One of the most powerful things in the world is a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. It wants to fill it with something. And even in a conversation or a presentation, you know, if you have a little pregnant pause, and people say, well, what's going on? That, you know, the flow has been interrupted here, and their mind will start, you know, paying a little better attention for the next thing. And so that's just an observation. And to, you know, Avini Vibes is a place where people come to express themselves, right? So that is a precious and important function.
Yeah.
And so let's say that you're a brand new person, and you're here, and you hear other people that are pretty new themselves expressing themselves. Well, that's pretty encouraging, right? Apparently what they know is just fine to move ahead with. So I did write down one little thing that I thought I would like to say, and it's really the, you know, I guess I'm one short because I'm supposed to have three. I wrote down up here products, people, and opportunity. That's three. But what I really wanted to say was, what do we really want from this? You know, if you ask yourself, what do you want? And then maybe you can ask yourself over and over again, well, why do you want that? And there's a deal called 7 levels of why. And you ask yourself again and try to tell it a little bit better. And again, and tell yourself a little bit better. And by the time you go 7 levels deep in why you want something, and it's for me, it's always the same here. Number one, and I think you guys, same thing, you should demand that you approach the unlimited version of yourself physiologically. Right? If not, I'd leave. I'd go find someplace else. I mean, if this isn't making a big difference for you physiologically, that you're getting closer to the unlimited version of yourself, maybe shockingly, for the number of years you've been riding the planet, and you compare yourself to the others around you, and you begin to see the divergence, you know, between the ones that listen and the ones that don't. And I kind of look at them as my they're kind of like my test cases, or my reference group, I call them. So if you say no, you go into the reference group. So my goal then is to take me and everybody that said yes to a much higher level, and then I can refer back to the reference group and see what's happening to them. And then hopefully they'll notice that something's different with us, and they'll say, okay, I'm ready to listen now. So that's on the physiological side. So that was number 1 of 2. Guess what the second one is? You know, years ago, when I realized that network marketing knew the coolest stuff first, and that you could do it from any place, and there wasn't a building, you know, you work off a map or you work off the globe. And then I started seeing the people that did it and getting to know them. I just jumped to the conclusion, I'd rather do this than some other kind of work. I mean, I thought, okay, that's what I want to do. You know, I said, that's me, I can do that. And if I could provide anything to anybody here, you know, it would be that moment. That's me, I can do that. And then, of course, in order to do it enough to make a living, you have to decide, okay, well, where do I want to be? And, you know, how much activity do I need to generate so that the business is, you know, fits what I need it to do for me? And, you know, then, you know, there it goes. And it really is interesting. You know, just a very few minutes ago, I was on the lake. I was a little bit frustrated because I was struggling to make it through the slalom course at the line length that I was on. And I got done, and I didn't realize that the rope was 1 length shorter than I thought it was. So I was actually doing really good. But I thought, why can't I? You know, why am I struggling at this level? And it was actually, the rope was 6 feet shorter than I thought it was. And so then I felt, okay, well, I am getting where I want to go. You know, and then you can ask yourself this question. You know, if you're 74 like I am, and you can fit yourself in here real easy, how am I going to be better at 75 than I was at 74? Do I really honestly think at 76 I'm going to be better than I was at 75?
Wow.
Years ago, I set a goal to be able to still make it through the slalom course when I was 60 years old.
Wow.
Well, now I'm 74. So when I hit 60, I thought I'll reset then. Right now, my reset, and I just want to be a little bit better each year until 2050. And then at that point, I'll do another major reset, because being born in 1950. So, and it seems like it's within reach. It seems possible.
Yeah.
And so I hope some of this resonates with you guys, and the chapter that you're in your life, maybe your event right now is get well. I still look at you as a high performance person. If you're ill, your events get well. Then what's up from there? And I know many of you are caregivers, and you give large parts of yourself in your life, whether it's time-wise during a day or years, to caring for other people. And that's your event right now. To the caregiver, it's not easy to be that role either. Marcy was the sick person, I was the caregiver. Thank goodness she bounced back so quickly. I mean, the whole thing took a couple of months from when she was horribly ill to where she was pretty much back again like she was, she is now. And 12 years later, that she came back so quickly. What a blessing that was, because I kind of like you guys, I'm willing to do it, and whatever she chose to do to get better. Fortunately, she feared the treatments that were offered so much she wouldn't do them. And we finally came to the conclusion, rather than reject the chemo and radiation that she was supposed to get, we would hold it in reserve in case we had to, bring out more serious weapons of war. But in the meantime, we would do every right thing that we knew, and especially lean on Rik and what we were learning from Rik. And it was 2 months, and went back to the Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, they ran her through some tests. And I remember the gal came in and she was telling us how we were still going to have to do the standard of care, which was carboplatin, Taxol, and radiation. And Marcy said, well, why is that? And she said, well, anybody who's gone through what you've gone through, you have to do that. We have to recommend it because that is the standard of care. And she said, well, you just ran me through a battery of tests yesterday. How are my tests? And the lady looked down at him and she said, well, to be honest, there's healthy 16-year-old women that would like to put up the numbers you just put up. And I thought, okay, I think we'll go ahead and hold that in reserve a little longer, maybe like indefinitely. And I don't tell this part very often, but I guess I'm going to right now. It's just us, The rest of that conversation was, this woman was the oncologist who was going to supervise the infusions of carboplatin and Taxol. Remember, Rik was involved in creating Taxol with Monroe Wall at the university, Duke University, Nobel Prizes. That's one of the things that Rik did to work on that chemo drug. So by then I'd been around Rik a little bit and I'd learned a little bit, right? You guys don't know how much you know just being around Avini. Yeah, maybe you do know how wise you're becoming. But the gal said, well, do you have any questions? And Marcy didn't have a question. She looked at me and she said, well, do you have any questions? I said, well, yeah, I just have two. First of all, these treatments that you're recommending, the radiation and the chemotherapy, could you please explain to me how they select between the good cells and the bad cells, how it is that it doesn't hurt you? And of course, it does hurt you. So there wasn't an answer to that. And I said, okay, I guess I kind of knew that ahead of time. And she said, well, what's your other question? And I said, well, these two drugs that you're suggesting she takes, the Taxol and the carboplatin, could you please explain to me how they kill? How do they kill cells? And she started, which absolutely dumbfounded me. I actually expected to get, I expected to learn there. I mean, that's what I'm on the planet for, is to learn stuff, right? I expected this was an opportunity for me to learn from this woman who administers the infusion of these drugs. And she started into such a, I'd say, sophomoric explanation, but it was more like a pre-grade school, maybe pre-kindergarten explanation. And when she said, it's kind of like whack-a-mole, I looked at her and I said, I think I know how they work, and what you're telling me isn't correct. You'd have thought somebody killed her puppy. She said, she sat there for a second, kind of like, stricken. And then she said, maybe I better look it up. Nobody ever asked me that.
Wow.
And I thought, oh my God. And that was the very last conversation.
Wow.
Maybe I better look it up. Nobody ever asked me that. And I don't tell that part of the story very often, but I mean, it makes you think about, okay,
Yeah.
Rik knows, I know,
Yeah.
Probably if you're receiving it and you probably, at least some of the people are going to go dig it out and find out. But if you're administering it every day, wouldn't you know?
Wow.
Hope so.
I don't know. It just, I mean, it shocked me. And I realized, maybe she's like a really highly respected technician who does this thing over and over every day. Her job is to get it in you and make sure that the port's open and installed and, the right amount of the drugs going and all that kind of stuff. But to me, the curiosity, and I'm sitting here on a call full of curious people. How do you get here? You hear something interesting and you all of a sudden, all of you guys start digging, right? Tick, 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 tick. I'm going to learn about that. I'm going to find out if it's good for me. And then you get down in there in a little bit and you say, okay, this is valuable. And within a few seconds, you probably jump to the conclusion, this isn't going to cost me. This is going to be income producing. That's a pretty quick transition. Why not? I mean, nobody knows about it. It's of great value. Every person has problems that this solves. Why not jump instantly from, okay, this was going to cost me but I can represent it. This is going to be income producing at my house. I can do this instead of I call other stuff real work. I can do this instead of real work. So, most of you guys know I'm at the lake almost all day, every day. And I can do this here. I could do this there. It's crazy, right? I mean, if you saw, half the time I'm talking to you in a black Speedo. Which I did retire when I was 60, but I reintroduced it at 61 and I could still wear it. So, all right. That's all I got. I better quit with
Oh,
that.
you're so funny and such a blessing. I tell you what, Chip, just beautiful and so true. Gosh, always, you always get us all to think further and further beyond. So
Yeah.
God bless you. Well, I just want to thank all of you for coming tonight. Remember, like Chip said, we're out here to keep digging, digging and learn. And who else is praying for an answer? And you might have it. So don't be shy. Go out and share. I wanted to just close tonight and leave you with this. I found this little piece of paper I hand wrote a while ago, and it fell out of my notebook today. It says, practice within when you are without. Practice within when you are without. So I leave you without. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, is it Labor Day already? Pretty soon, right?
Soon.
Yeah, so we'll see you the following week, and let's go out in Avini Vibes. What do you say?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Not everyone.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.